Foundation. I work in the field of culture and heritage, trying to share a lot of information related to culture and heritage with people. And as I mentioned just little before, that we have very dynamic people in our guest list. And one such very dynamic lady who is a very creative person, I would like to invite Mrs. Shilpa Mahajan to the dais, and will request Subodh, our regional director Subodh Gopke, to felicitate her. And it is really, I'm very happy to introduce Shilpa to you. It is very inspiring that some creative person, and she's a very creative person, but she used her creativity in business. That's really commendable. A little more information about Shilpa. Shilpa, having graduated from Mumbai, always had keen interest into designs, from the drawing board of her father to crafting mechanical designs for defense. Shilpa has evolved as a self-made, hands-on designer of defense systems with over 20 years of domain expertise. She has designed many radical systems which are part of some of the most prestigious defense programs in our country. And she is a board member of Bharat Defense and currently handles operations in the company. Exceptional data management skills, sound knowledge of all manufacturing processes, backed by her design background, makes her a meticulous leader. Shilpa, we would like to listen from you here. Tell us about your journey, tell us about your passion in this profession, and we are really hoping that our young girls who are sitting here and they are also connected to BBNG, they'll get a lot of inspiration from you.
It's a great honor and a great pleasure for me to be here and live through the experiences of such well-learned people and such a great business community, such a great network, and it just feels like at home. So when I heard about the BBN group and the invite from there, it made me start thinking that Brahmin Business Network. Brahmin, what is the meaning of Brahmin, basically? Like if you go back in era, basically this is a group of people who are supposed to be the preachers, the leaders, the ones that give guidance to a society in general about the ways of life and or any form of expertise for that matter. So when you look at it from that perspective, you feel that this is probably a sector of people who are most learned, have really spent hours of or months and days of their lives researching on a subject, on getting progress on a subject, and making it very simplified for a common man to understand, adapt, and live with. Exactly what a businessman is supposed to do, right? Exactly what a businessman is all meant to do. You are supposed to get progress on a particular domain and put it together in such a way that you can make a product which would be easy for use or make the life easy of anybody who wants to use your product. So there is a lot of commonality between Brahmin and business if you actually go through that logic. Of course, over the years, what happened was, I guess, that the research kind of stopped and we started focusing more on the educational aspect of being a Brahmin. Where you started giving more emphasis to how well educated you are and stop your creative thinking at many levels and, got into a mold of being an engineer or a doctor or so on and so forth and started looking at jobs. Well, I think we lost a lot of our core skills of research and development back there. Fortunately for me in my life, I still have somewhere up about a mentor, a guide in virtue of my father who started a business. He was the eldest of a sibling of 5-6 kids, and like they say, necessity is the mother of invention. So while putting the family together and making sure all responsibilities are met, he actually went out and put a business together which would be fruitful for for many people, including our own family. And like every girl who has a dream to emulate her father or just to be what he is, and she believes that he is and always is the true hero of her life, I wanted to be a part of his dream and his setup and just be whatever he told me I should be or do the same things. As a result, I joined this company back in the year 1999 as a designer. And like I think she also mentioned in the pre-speech that I have gained this effort of design or this inquisitiveness to design products because as a kid I used to sit next to him and see him like manually make drawings and designs and engineering data. And that kind of got me very fascinated. And that's how my story with my father began as a designer. The good thing about him was the fact that he never let Amit or me actually come into a business and sit right up on a pedestal. We were made to do all the groundwork, we were made to actually start from a very low scale in the organization and move up in the organization based on our merit primarily. So we both have really struggled very hard to come up the ladder in my own father's organization. Notwithstanding that, we've had a very good run there. Back in the year 2004, we were the only company, a consortium of companies that worked for a DRDO called LRD in Bangalore. And we were one of the few companies who challenged an Israel import system. And we were able to completely build it in India with our own set of designs, equipments, and today I proudly say that the Indian border is secure because these surveillance radars are installed across our border, almost 1,400 of them. And taking the company forward, and unlike a typical businessman who's very, very possessive and very secure about his own business, we wanted to expand, we wanted to grow, we wanted to do better and bigger. We opened out our equity and we partnered with this company called Paris Defense, who we are currently proud shareholders and directors of. The journey here was also beautiful in the sense that it's a very young team, very dynamic team, and we have a lot of synergy and a lot of cooperation. So what this taught us is the fact that no matter how hard you try to fly by yourself, but if you have a complementing team that works with you at all points of time, then your success sees no boundaries. You can wish for whatever you want, and you can actually go out there and achieve it. And with our IPO success story, I'm not too sure if many of you know it, but I would like to reiterate that we are the only MSME in India who got an IPO subscription of over 300 times. And one of the biggest IPO subscriptions ever in the history of India. So yes, we have worked very hard to get to the position that we are in. My family has been my biggest strength. Very unusual for a girl to actually go out and lead her father's business and take it forward. So my husband, my in-laws, my parents of course, they've all been the biggest strength in making my journey possible. I think they've been very cool about this need of mine or this experience of mine, and I've not, fortunately for me, I've not had to face a very typical household experience. I've been out there working and very well supported back at home on account of this. What I do today in Paris Defense is primarily, I head the operations of the electronics division of the company. We are making various kinds of products which are used in defense and space applications. And I head the complete operations. So Amit is the person who actually goes out in the field and gets me the work that I actually execute for him back at home. And this is how our team works. Considering various opportunities that the Indian government is giving us today in terms of Make in India, in terms of Atmanirbhar Bharat, in terms of the TOT, in terms of whatever we heard on the dais today by various eminent people, this is a boom time in India for any businessman. It is a time where you can actually go out and achieve your dreams. It is a time where the government, the general infrastructure, the ecosystem in India is so well poised that doing anything that you actually can think of or aim for is much easier than the era that my father or maybe his ancestors were working with. Keeping that opportunity in mind, we as Paris Defence are trying to achieve newer heights for Indian defence in general, where we want to focus on a lot of Make in India and Atmanirbhar cases. We are very well supported by the DRDO, by the government, by the TPSUs at all points of time, and that gives us the flight that we need to make our journey a success. I won't be talking more about the company because Amit is going to already be doing that, so we don't want to bore you with the same data twice. But all I would like to say is, coming from a Tamilian Brahmin family, following my father's business, making his dream come true, to getting, making indigenized systems and delivering it and which are functionally used across the border, to running through an IPO and becoming a successful company, which probably a lot of you are shareholders for. It definitely has been a very beautiful journey. However, there is so much to learn every day, and the various people who have spoken here have given us so much more insight, and there is so much more that we need to make together in life. So I'm sure that I will be looking at very good friendships, very good relationships at this platform, which can help us grow individually and professionally together to make sure that India is the force to reckon with for every one of us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.